Hello everyone, welcome back to the tutorial number 9 of our Android game programming video series. Uh, let me just try to run the application so we can see. So this is what we have done in the previous video. So we are just adding some input keys to our player. So whenever there are events happen on the keyboard, so we can just update our players. So in this video we are going to add some method that will block our player from leaving world. So we need to create it in the but let me just I think I need to resize the player because the player seems to have a little bit large size, so I want to reduce the size. So I just go to the game config, and instead of declaring this below, I will just put it maybe above and change this one 0.4. This one will be bounce radius times 2. So if I will try to run, so this should be a little bit small, but let's now change this one to 5, so it should be exactly 1, so the same size. It should be the same size of the cell so that we have created. So now let us try to let us now create a method to block our players. So okay, maybe we should create a method, so this one, so below. So let us try to create a method. It should be private void, call this one block player outward, so we can just outward. So okay, so we can just where's the method that we created? So if we go there to the player update, so or we can also do it here, so below. Okay, so in there is an input, so we also want to block him, so we can even declare it here. So we have only one method, so let's remove this one. So let's go there and declare. I'll declare a method. This one will be private block player outward. Let's call it outward. So what can we do to block our player? So game world width and height will be 20 by 15. Now if we want to block we want only our player to move along with this number, not beyond this number. So what can we do is we need to declare a variable. So I will just declare a variable here, float min x, and this should be game config that size of our world width minus you can say minus our player size, so minus our bounce radius for player size. Okay, float min y, so we can see the minimum. This one will be the minimum where our so it should be max x first, so max x, and this will be okay. So I think I made a mistake here, so let me just copy here, control and paste it there. So put it to 0 and let us try to run. So but let me just clamp this value so we can see. So and so we can say declare a position here. So x position equal to mat utils, so that clamp. Okay, the value will be the current position, so you can see the get x, and we can pass the main x, and the maximum will be the max x. Okay, now let us try to call this one here and start our game. Okay, so let me just try to run, stop the window. So if I will, so the position I will move down, it should be okay. So we cannot block our player. So why is that? So okay, we cannot block our players. So okay, we never position, we did not position our player, so sorry. So we can just call this set position or x, set x to, but it's good to call the set position and pass the x position. For y, we'll just get the y. Okay, now if I try to run again, so we should see. Okay, okay, I think we made a mistake. So it should be, we want to block him only in the y because we are not holding in the x. So you can just change this one to world height. Okay, and this will be minimum y and max y. So get x minimum and max y, but this should be the y position, or we can say y position. Okay, but let's delete this one. So this should be get x. So get x and y position will be clamp because we are only moving in the y direction. Sorry for that. So let me just move in the y direction. So I will now try to run again the game. So now let us try to, okay, and I can't move. So this should be the current position of the y, so not the x. So that is the one issue that I have. So if I'm going to run it again, so we can now move, and you see it's worked a little, but there is a problem in the top because we can the half of our circle. So but there should be a line, so that if I will reset, so you can see that only the half of the circle can be seen. So but let me just fix. So let me just try to go into our viewport utility, and we need to have another line. This will be indicated as the word bounds. So boundaries, so word bounds, I call this boundary, and let's try to set color will be cyan, and renderer, and let's now draw some line. Basically we will draw the line in the y coordinates from the top. So to indicate boundary. So let's try to draw a line. Position in the negative x, we will not draw in the negative x, so we will put 0. But in the negative y, instead of drawing in the negative y, we will draw it in the top. So we need to pass the game world height, and in the x, positive x, we will be passing the size of the game world width, and in the y, so we can then pass again the world height. So now we should see a line so above. So if we try to, so that is the boundary of our game world. So from the top, so as you can see, the half of the circle is going over to this the line. So we will fix it later, but let us just try to draw another line. So that will indicate the width. So the width of the width boundaries, so that our player cannot go beyond. So let us try to draw. So in the x, so instead of in the negative, we are trying to draw it in the positive. So the incomplete world width, we can use the incomplete world width, so, and 0 in the incomplete world width. Okay, so in the y, we will not draw in the y. Okay, so in the y, we should put, okay, incomplete world width, and it should be 0 in the negative x. Incomplete world width in the y, with world width, and the incomplete world height. Let's try if I can make it right. So let us try. Okay, so we have awkward line there. So let me just set a color for this one. In the set color that so what is the color? So set to use the red. So incomplete world width. So if I try to see, so what we have done, so it should not be right here. We should move down. So 0 in the x. Okay, in the y, so in the y, we will not draw in the negative y. So what happened? 0 in the x, but in the y we will record height. Okay, so try to run. Okay, so we need to move the negative. Okay, so it should be game config world width. Okay, now try to run. So okay, as you can see here, you can see the line. So this will indicate the boundaries of our world, so that our player cannot go beyond that line. But since we are only moving in the y axis, so to fix the half circle, we can just go back to our player, and instead of putting this one to 0, we can just pass the incomplete.object bounce radius. And okay, so we can still go beyond, but that is because or that we mean y set to get x. So that is because I think we are rendering the wrong. So we are rendering the bounds. Instead of rendering the bounds, we should render the player position. So we should, okay, so it should be y, and it should be x. So it should be x, and this one too. So change this one to x, and because this is the x and y component of the bounds, not our player. And since we attach the bounds to our player, so we can just get x and get y to return the x and y position of our player. Let us try to run it again. Now we try to move, so we can see that it is now, the player can now, we are now blocking our player, and it cannot go beyond the boundaries. So that is for today's in this video, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned something within this tutorial. So if you do so, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and if you have some questions, write it in the comment box. And if you want to support me with this free content that I have created, so you can visit Patreon page. So if you want to donate some, so with any amount, so you can, I appreciate it very much. So thanks for watching, guys. I see you in the next video.